Imagine a society where extraordinary abilities are commonplace, where children float with laughter and heal with a touch. But beneath the veneer of normalcy lurks a chilling truth. A secret agency, its motives shrouded in darkness, hunts those with powers, twisting their gifts into weapons. So without wasting any further time, let's deep dive into the complete story of our today's recap. The series begins with a boy named Seonk floating in outer space, bewildered and confused about how he got there. He abruptly wakes up in his bed, realizing it was just another one of his bizarre dreams. Seonk is known for having these peculiar dreams. Downstairs, his mother is preparing breakfast, and Seonk's keen sense of smell tells him it's his favorite dish. His excitement is palpable. As Seonk prepares for school, his friend Mi-hoon sneakily adds extra weight to his backpack, the reason for which will be revealed later. On the bus, Seonk's attention is drawn to a beautiful girl named Hee-soon, rushing towards the bus stop. Seonk needs to transfer buses and follows her, only to discover that Hee-soon doesn't have enough money on her bus card. The driver demands she disembark, but Seonk intervenes, offering to pay for her fare. Hee-soon is grateful, thanking Seonk for his kindness and accepting his offer to carry her heavy lunch bag. As they continue their journey, Seonk can't take his eyes off Hee-soon. Overwhelmed by his feelings, his feet begin to lift off the ground. He struggles to control himself, but when the bus brakes suddenly, he crashes face first into the window. Seonk possesses a unique ability. Whenever he experiences intense emotions, be it joy or sadness, he loses control and floats into the air. Meanwhile, we meet Hyunwoo, Seonk's classmate and class representative. He soon discusses applying for a sports scholarship with their teacher, Mr. Choi, who advises her that it's the only way she can receive financial aid. Hee-soon is a transfer student from another school. Seonk's heart races at the sight of her, causing him to float again. At the airport, a man named Frank changes clothes inside a van, a peculiar symbol adorning his bag. He receives a call from a secret number and opens a package labeled 11, revealing detailed information about a man named Jin Shin. Following Mr. Choi's instructions, Hyunwoo shows Hee-soon around the auditorium. Hee-soon stays behind to practice. Hyunwoo questions Mr. Choi about Hee-soon, asking if she's like them. Mr. Choi confirms this, emphasizing the need to keep a close watch on her. Frank confronts Jin Shin, who immediately recognizes Frank's intention to kill him. A fierce battle ensues, Jin Shin displaying formidable powers. However, Frank remains unscathed. After a brutal exchange, Frank inquires if Jin Shin has any children. Upon hearing the negative response, Frank throws Jin Shin out the window, killing him instantly. Mi-hoon receives news of Jin Shin's death on her phone and notices Frank's van. At the National Security Agency, the director is informed about Jin Shin's demise. He inquires about the breeding program, and his assistant confirms that Jin Shin's replanting has already begun. Mi-hoon cleans a gun from her secret stash, pondering who could have killed Jin Shin. We are then transported back to 2003, where a younger Mi-hoon carries a baby Seonk on her back, burdened with heavy luggage. She has rented a spacious hall, paying 3 years' rent in advance. While shopping, a shopkeeper comments on Seonk's size, questioning why Mi-hoon still carries him. Mi-hoon becomes enraged but apologizes upon seeing the shopkeeper's special needs son. Seonk has difficulty walking, so Mi-hoon uses ropes to teach him. She realizes that his powers are directly linked to his emotions. As Seonk starts school, he struggles to play with other children due to his uncontrollable floating. Inspired by Superman on TV, he attempts to mimic the superhero's flight. At school, he demonstrates his high jumps, prompting another child to imitate him, resulting in a dangerous fall. The injured child's mother complains to Mi-hoon, who explains the importance of using their powers for good, not harm. Seonk, realizing his mistake, cries on the rooftop amidst a raging storm. The strong winds lift him into the air, but Mi-hoon arrives just in time to save him. Back in the present, Seonk observes Hee-soon running towards the closing school gate. They both rush in and collide, Seonk's powers sending him flying before he crashes to the ground. The gate slams shut, and Professor Choi assigns both of them after-school cleaning duty. Meanwhile, Frank closes in on his next target, Bung Bank, who can control electricity. Bungbank senses Frank's presence and shuts off the bookstore's power. However, he attempts to absorb power from batteries, which proves futile against Frank's overwhelming strength. Frank kills Bungbank and shows him a photo of Seonk and his son, but Bungbank manages to burn half of it before expiring. At school, he soon borrows Seonk's sports uniform to change, as she's drenched in sweat from running. Hyunwoo witnesses a boy named Ki-hoo following Hee-soon and violently confronts him. Hyunwoo possesses superhuman strength. When the teacher asks about Ki-hoo's absence, Hyunwoo claims he's unwell. Hee-soon and Seonk visit the uniform store and share lunch. Seonk learns about Hee-soon's mother's death during her childhood, a revelation that deeply affects her. Frank examines the photo retrieved from Bungbank, recognizing the school Seonk attends. He receives a message to eliminate his next target. Hyunwoo questions their whereabouts during extra classes, and Hee-soon explains they were having dinner together. Hyunwoo remarks on their growing closeness. After school, while cleaning, Hee-soon notices Seonk lost in music and discreetly applies a bandage to his wound before leaving. Seonk, overcome with joy, floats into the air. Hee-soon recalls their interaction and tells her father she no longer wants to attend the sports college, having found a good friend in Seonk. The next day, the teacher inquires about Ki-hoo again, but Hee-soon remains silent. Later that night, Seonk sees Hee-soon practicing in the dark and turns on the lights before quietly returning home. Mi-hoon observes him, and he explains he was helping a friend. She reminds him to call if he'll be late, expressing her concern. Frank is spotted lurking outside the school, prompting the guard to intervene. The following day, Mr. Choi trains Hee-soon in various sports. After practice, Hee-soon arrives for lunch, only to find the food is gone. Seonk, her close friend, offers her his extra plate, explaining he always takes two. Mr. Choi sends Hyunwoo to turn on the auditorium fans. He soon arrives to change, causing Hyunwoo to panic and hide. He observes her practicing. During her routine, he soon injures her leg. Seonk, approaching to meet her, witnesses her fall and rushes to her aid. Hyunwoo witnesses this, but he soon remains oblivious, claiming she's fine. He soon seeks Seonk's assistance with her exercises. As she gets closer, Seonk loses control and floats again. He apologizes, landing some distance away. A cleaning lady interrupts, and Seonk leaves. Hyunwoo emerges and leaves his handprint on the wall, marking Hee-soon's target point. While eating noodles together, Seonk texts Mi-hoon about being late. He soon realizes she left her shoes at school. As Seonk heads back to retrieve them, he soon follows, determined to uncover the truth behind his strange behavior. She follows his footprints, which abruptly disappear. Seonk returns, carrying his shoes. He explains he took them off to avoid dirtying the floor. He soon notices his bandage falling off and reapplies it. Once again, Seonk's emotions overwhelm him, and he floats into the air right before Hee-soon's astonished eyes. She manages to bring him down, unaware that their interaction has been captured on CCTV. They arrive at Seonk's house, where Mi-hoon is delighted to see Hee-soon, assuming she's his girlfriend. As Mi-hoon prepares food, a sudden influx of customers arrives, prompting Seonk to take Hee-soon to his room. Meanwhile, Frank meets his next target, Na-jung, at a salon under the pretense of getting a haircut. He subtly questions her about her children, arousing her suspicion. She attacks him with scissors, but Frank's superhuman healing abilities negate the damage. Na-jung fires multiple gunshots, but they have no effect. Frank kills her, coldly remarking that he'll meet her children at her funeral. Seonk reveals his secret to Hee-soon, explaining his involuntary floating when experiencing strong emotions. Hee-soon, putting the pieces together, asks if he likes her, causing Seonk to float again. He apologizes, lamenting his uncontrollable nature. Mi-hoon overhears their conversation due to her superhuman hearing ability. When Seonk escorts Hee-soon outside, Mi-hoon scolds him for not walking her all the way home. Seonk grabs his raincoat and flies back to Hee-soon, ensuring she gets on the bus. Overwhelmed with happiness, he floats in the air as Jin-woo delivers food to a crowded complex. The lack of a card swipe machine leads to a confrontation, and Jin-woo leaves without collecting payment. Seong goes to school on his day off to see Hee-soon practicing, sporting a new hairstyle. Hee-soon dislikes it, and Seong helps her change it back. He asks her to keep his secret, and in return, Hee-soon reveals her own. She's impervious to physical harm. This ability led to her expulsion from her previous school after she fought and defeated 17 people without sustaining any injuries, terrifying everyone. They agree to keep each other's secrets safe. Hee-soon shares her tragic past, recounting a horrific accident that claimed her mother's life. Her father raised her, working tirelessly. In high school, she intervened when a girl named Haewon was being bullied. When reporting to the teacher didn't stop the harassment, Hee-soon's anger boiled over, and she confronted the bullies, emerging unscathed despite being attacked with knives and rocks. Haewon's boyfriend even hit her with a baseball bat, to no avail. This incident led to her expulsion. Jinwoo returns to the complex to collect his payment, but the crowd and broken CCTV cameras hinder his efforts. Mi-hoon learns that the complex security director's assistant is portraying Na-jung's death as a robbery. The principal of Hee-soon's former school meets with the director, revealing his role in identifying children like Hee-soon and Seong. Frank attends Na-jung's funeral, where a boy informs him that Na-jung adopted them after his mother's death. A girl overhears their conversation. We are introduced to Jae-do, who can control electricity and access memories through touch. He is under Mr. Choi's guidance. Mr. Choi encourages Jae-do to pursue a career in entertainment, leading him to audition for a children's show where he lands the role of Superman. During a performance, Jae-do's costume malfunctions, causing an on-stage accident and costing him his job. Upon returning home, he discovers his mother's lifeless body. At her funeral, his father reveals he had been paying Jae-do's school fees all along. Jae-do struggles to find work, but eventually secures a job as a bus driver after fixing a broken-down bus. Ironically, it's the same bus Seong takes to school. Jae-do attends his father's funeral and, using the batteries there, discovers that Frank is responsible for his death. Mr. Choi introduces a new student to the class, Hyunwoo. Hee-soon and Hyunwoo exchange smiles. During lunch, a girl named Han joins them. Hee-hoo approaches and insults Hee-soon. Hyunwoo, enraged but restrained by the presence of others, leaves abruptly. Seong and Hee-soon retrieve his spoon, Seong cleaning it before Hee-soon returns it to the plate. The director's assistant reveals Frank's background, his Korean mother and American soldier father. After his mother's death, he was taken by CIA agents. Seong helps Hee-soon with her studies, but leaves early due to his phone's low battery. Frank receives his next target, Mi-hoon. Seong is happy to see Jae-do back on the bus. Hee-soon's father gives her a new phone, urging her to call if she needs anything. CIA Director Mark meets with the director, advising him to recall Frank before things escalate. Frank approaches Mi-hoon, pretending to order dinner. Mi-hoon warns Seong to stay home, but he arrives before she can stop him. Mark's message halts Frank, and as he leaves, Mi-hoon cautions Seong, sensing danger. Frank's next target is Jinwoo. Jinwoo recognizes Frank and engages him in a fight, but Frank prevails. Frank chases Jinwoo with his van, running him over and leaving him for dead. However, Jinwoo survives, retrieves information from Frank's van, and confronts him, brutally beating him before burning the records and escaping. Mi-hoon forbids Seong from attending extra classes, hindering his interactions with Hee-soon. One day, Hee-soon visits Seong and places a rock on him, expressing how much she missed him and hoping to prevent him from floating. It begins to snow. Meanwhile, Hee-hoo is seen tampering with a pegboard bolt. As Hee-soon practices, the board nearly falls on her. Both Seong and Hyunwoo rush to save her. Hyunwoo reaches her first due to his superior strength and pushes her out of the way. Hyunwoo records the incident and posts it online, where it goes viral. Hee-soon is pleased that their powers are now public knowledge. The director is furious upon learning about the video. Seong is devastated that he couldn't help his friend and resumes practicing, prompting Mi-hoon to question his actions. Seong expresses his frustration, feeling his powers are useless if he can't help others. Mi-hoon breaks down, asking if he wants to end up like his father. The video reaches the North Korean director. We see an airplane taking off, with a man resembling Seong's father, Doo-sik, desperately trying to warn the pilot about a bomb on board. His pleas are ignored, and the plane explodes. Dushik is heartbroken. Mi-hoon, assigned a mission to approach Dushik, falls in love with him. They begin a secret relationship. In a flashback to China, Mi-hoon is tasked with eliminating North Korean personnel. She feels compassion for them. Suddenly, she awakens in the present, carrying files for the director. Dushik intercepts her in the elevator, taking the files and confessing his awareness of her mission. He expresses his desire to continue their relationship despite the circumstances. They share an intimate moment. Back in China, Mi-hoon uses a flash grenade to create a diversion, allowing the North Koreans to escape. The director's assistant questions his interest in Dushik. He explains he wants to know why Dushik failed to kill Mi-hoon during the China mission, as things went downhill after that. The director interrogates Mi-hoon about Dushik's secret. She denies any knowledge. The assistant berates her. Dushik visits Mi-hoon at work, flying through the window with dinner. Impressed by his abilities, Mi-hoon reveals her own power to hear and sense things from miles away. Dushik confesses his powers and kisses her before floating away. An employee overhears the director and his assistant discussing their knowledge of Mi-hoon's powers. Mi-hoon investigates and discovers hidden cameras. News breaks of the North Korean leader's assassination. The director orders a search for Dushik, believing he will seek refuge with Mi-hoon. One day, finding Mi-hoon lost in thought, Dushik approaches her, confessing his inability to live without her and sharing a passionate kiss. The scene shifts to 1990, where Jin-woo, alongside his boss, confronts gangsters, showcasing his powers and forcing the opposing boss to sign a document. Afterward, Jin-woo departs with his friend, Mickey. Later, Jin-woo is involved in a serious accident. While heading to a hotel with the compensation money, he notices a young man's scooter. Jin-woo spends his days in the hotel room. One day, he witnesses a delivery girl, Ji, being harassed by a customer. In the next scene, Jin-woo throws himself in front of an oncoming car, using this tactic to extort money for survival. However, he bumps into Ji, and they seem to fall in love at first sight. They begin conversing. The following day, Jinwoo's car-stopping tactic fails, and he chases after the vehicle. He encounters Ji again, asking for directions to the hotel. The scene flashes back to 1990, where Jinwoo's boss makes a deal with the rival gang leader. Displeased with this betrayal, Jin-woo and Mickey knock out both bosses, tie them to car seats, and toss them into the water. Jin-woo, resourceful as ever, breaks his own bone to free himself, returns, and kills the rival boss, leaving Mickey with a severe facial scar. Back in the present, Ji questions Jin-woo about his prolonged hotel stay, causing him to break down. The director learns about Jinwoo's past from Mickey, expressing his determination to find Jin-woo despite the delay. He tasks Mickey with locating him. Ji leaves Jin-woo at the hotel. Lost in thought about Ji, Jin-woo cleans his room and orders coffee from her shop, hoping she'll deliver it personally, as per the shop's policy. However, other girls deliver his orders repeatedly. Finally, one day, Ji arrives with his coffee. Jin-woo offers her money, leading Ji to believe he desires a night with her. Jin-woo clarifies he merely wanted to see her, causing Ji to flee in embarrassment. She relays the incident to her boss, who suggests Jin-woo might have deeper feelings for her. Ji delivers coffee to the same hotel again. Jin-woo overhears her voice and bursts through the wall, finding her defending herself against a group of men. One of them attacks Jin-woo, but he retaliates, locking them inside. He later confirms Ji's safety with her boss. One of the trapped men escapes and informs Mickey about Jin-woo. Mickey sends his men after Jin-woo, resulting in a bloody confrontation. Jin-woo fights back fiercely, targeting Mickey, who barely escapes. The director and Dushik observe the scene, as Dushik was assigned to monitor Jin-woo. Informed about the fight, Ji rushes to find Jin-woo and urges him to leave. Seeing the pursuing mob, Jin-woo complies. During their escape, a van crashes into them. Jin-woo protects Ji and throws the van off the road. Mickey survives and attempts to shoot Jin-woo. Dushik arrives, using his powers to neutralize Mickey and save Jin-woo. Hyunwoo approaches Jin-woo, offering him a job and introducing him to Dushik. They shake hands, pleased to be working together. Jinwoo and Eumji reunite at the coffee shop, their affection evident. In a flashback to 1992, Jinwoo and Dushik embark on a mission to rescue Dr. Kong. While preparing on a rooftop, Russian agents demand Dr. Kong open a briefcase. He refuses, and they threaten him at gunpoint. Jinwoo intervenes, landing on the gunman. Dushik opens fire from the air, and together, they secure Dr. Kong and bring him to South Korea. The scene jumps to 1993, where Jinwoo is shot during a mission. Dushik offers him his father's knife to remove the bullet. We then revisit the scene where Dushik meets Mi-hoon, who was tasked with capturing him. Dushik suggests coffee to Jinwoo, who arrives to find Mi-hoon waiting with Dushik's knife. It's revealed that Dushik surrendered upon seeing Mi-hoon pointing a gun at him. Hyunwoo demands a report from Dushik, but Dushik accuses him of betrayal and declares his intention to report to the Blue House instead. He kills the surrounding agents and escapes with Hyunwoo. Outside, agents await. Dushik shoots Mi-hoon, but Jinwoo takes the bullet, proving his lack of involvement with Mi-hoon to protect her. Mi-hoon remembers Dushik instructing her to shoot Jinwoo with the specific gun he provided. Jinwoo realizes Dushik's intention by recalling his precise shot during their last gun practice. The Blue House demotes Hyunwoo for his misjudgment, leading to the agency's downfall. Mi-hoon is transferred to another agency, constantly reminiscing about the missing Dushik. One day, Dushik returns, taking Mi-hoon on a breathtaking aerial journey. Time passes, and Dushik and Mi-hoon build a happy family with their son, Seonk. Dushik takes up farming. One day, while playing, Seonk suddenly floats into the air, alarming his parents. Dushik installs nets throughout the house to prevent Seonk from drifting away. News reports announce the agency's rebranding as the National Intelligence Agency, with Hyunwoo as its director. Seonk floats away again, worrying Mi-hoon. Dushik searches for him, finding him crying amidst the clouds. He embraces his son. A man named Raehuk approaches Dushik, posing as a customer. That night, 30 individuals surround them. Mi-hoon, alerted by her superhuman hearing, warns Dushik. Najung and Bungbank are among the attackers. Dushik fights valiantly but is overwhelmed and captured. He urges Mi-hoon to escape with Seonk. Raehuk pursues them, keeping them under surveillance. With Dushik's team eliminated, Jinwoo joins another department, struggling with his unfamiliar tasks. He marries Eumji, finding happiness amidst their financial struggles. Eumji encourages him to pursue his passion. Jinwoo attempts to resign, but learns that his housing is tied to his employment. He endures the hardships for Eumji. Hyunwoo offers him a job, which Jinwoo contemplates. He recalls Eumji's advice to follow his heart and decides to leave. Hyunwoo tasks Jinwoo with capturing North Korean agents. Despite extensive searching, they remain elusive. Raehuk joins the search, revealing Hyunwoo sent him to assist. He mentions Hyunwoo's 20-year tenure and his intention to assemble a team of powered individuals. Jinwoo questions Raehuk's abilities, and Raehuk boasts about his investigative skills. He uses his deduction to locate the North Korean agents, sending the army while manipulating Jinwoo with information about the agents' potential powers. Jinwoo, sensing Raehuk's deception, abandons him and joins the soldiers. A firefight erupts between the North Korean agents and the army. Jinwoo intervenes, witnessing someone throwing large rocks from above. He confronts the attacker, discovering his powers and agility. The attacker injures Jinwoo and escapes. Raehuk, delighted by this revelation, reports to Hyunwoo, who forms a new black team based on this discovery. Jinwoo embarks on frequent missions. Eumji expresses her desire for a child. Time passes, and Hee-soon is born. Jinwoo cherishes his family. However, during a mission, he learns about a tragic accident involving Eumji and Hee-soon. He rushes to the hospital, finding Hee-soon unharmed but Eumji deceased. He grieves deeply, vowing to care for Hee-soon. Jinwoo refuses to work with Hyunwoo anymore, choosing to focus on raising Hee-soon. Hyunwoo reluctantly agrees, but demands Jinwoo's availability when needed. We meet J-Man, a street vendor burdened with heavy goods. He's informed about an upcoming construction project that will displace residents, prompting protests. His wife, Shin, discourages his involvement. J-Man, though mentally challenged, worries about his son, Kwang Yun. His superhuman speed allows him to reach Kwang Yun's school quickly when the alarm on his watch goes off. Shin converses with a worker who mentions her son, Sung-kyu. A flashback reveals Jaemin's violent altercation with a man years ago. Shin convinced him to surrender to the police. While being escorted, Jaemin expresses concern for Kwang Yun, who is trapped in a burning van. Shin rescues him. Jaemin returns home, unrecognizable to Kwang Yun. They gradually reconnect. Kwang Yun accompanies Jaemin to school. The protest day arrives, and Jaemin is urged to participate. Shin intervenes, joining the protest herself. The protest turns violent, escalating into a physical confrontation with the police. Many are injured. When Shin doesn't return home, Jaemin goes to find her, discovering her in a police van. He jumps towards her, knocking down the police officers. Shin calms him down, and Jaemin disappears with a powerful leap. Jinwoo receives a call from Hyunwoo, informing him about Jaemin hiding in the sewers and tasking him with capturing the powered individual. Shin pleads with the police to let her speak with Jaemin. Hyunwoo sends Jinwoo into the sewers. Jaemin attempts to escape. Jinwoo confronts him, leading to an intense fight. Jaemin's powers are formidable, but Jinwoo remains unaffected. Jinwoo handcuffs Jaemin and escorts him out. Sung-kyu's mother discovers his absence and finds his slipper near a manhole, realizing he's fallen in. She seeks help from the police, who defy Hyunwoo's orders and enter the sewers. While returning, Jinwoo and Jaemin hear Sung-kyu's cries. They use their powers to rescue him. Jinwoo emerges, leaving Jaemin behind. Hyunwoo learns about Jaemin's reunion with his son. Jaemin returns home to find Kwang Yun crying, surrounded by police. Hyunwoo, believing Jaemin is responsible for the previous attack on the police, prepares to arrest him. Suddenly, an unseen force throws the officers back. They assume it's Jaemin, but it's actually Kwang Yun, enraged and displaying his own powers. Hyunwoo is intrigued by the generational transfer of powers. Jinwoo, sensing Hyunwoo's ulterior motives, packs his belongings and leaves with Hee-soon. In prison, Hee-soon describes Seonk as eccentric but kind-hearted. Hyunwoo's assistant informs him about Jinwoo's escape. Hyunwoo realizes Jinwoo has discovered his plans and confirms Hee-soon's powers with Raehuk. Raehuk proposes establishing a school to gather powered children, revealing Project NDTP. Back in the present, Hee-soon examines the loose pegboard bolt. Hyunwoo reveals his powers and ambition to work for the government. Jinwoo and Mi-hoon prepare to leave. Mi-hoon carries a second phone. Seonk and Hee-soon meet Jae-do on the bus. An undercover North Korean agent, Jun, boards the bus, targeting Hee-soon. Mi-hoon arrives at the school and informs Seonk she'll be late. Jinwoo calls Hee-soon, and she confirms she's on the bus. Jun identifies Hee-soon. Mi-hoon questions the sports teacher, Mr. Kwon, about Hyunwoo's powers incident, but he deflects her inquiries and mentions Seonk's poor grades. Mi-hoon becomes suspicious and questions Mr. Choi's knowledge of Seonk's parentage. Mi-hoon questions Mr. Choi about his background, learning he joined the National Intelligence Agency in 2004 after leaving his Special Forces job. He reveals his ambition to become a black agent after once saved his life during a confrontation with North Korean agents. Hyunwoo explains the secrecy surrounding black agents and assigns Mr. Choi the mission of finding powered children. Mr. Choi becomes a school teacher, where Raehuk provides him with Jae-do's file for observation. Jae-do desires to join the physical sector, but Mr. Choi deems him unsuitable. Mr. Choi witnesses boys carrying batteries towards the auditorium and questions Raehuk about its necessity. Raehuk emphasizes the urgency of reporting and hopes Jae-do will discover his powers soon. Meanwhile, Jae-do practices alone, enduring battery attacks from the other boys. Unable to utilize his powers, he's deemed unqualified by Mr. Choi, who suggests he pursue entertainment. In a flashback to 2007, a girl named Sayan enrolls in the school. During practice, she exhibits extraordinary jumping abilities. Mr. Choi asks her to look under the table, revealing his knowledge of her X-ray vision. Sayan is Na Jung's daughter, inheriting her powers. The next day, Sayan collapses during practice and dies in the hospital from an unknown case of cancer. Time passes, and more powered children arrive, including Hyunwoo, who possesses time manipulation abilities. Despite attempts to conceal his powers, he eventually transfers out. Raehuk introduces Samwook to Mr. Choi, offering his assistance. Raehuk provides Mr. Choi with files containing information about Seonk, Hee-soon, and Kwang-yoon, entrusting him with their care. Back in the present, Jinwoo confronts Mr. Choi, while Mi-hoon sits nearby. Mi-hoon discreetly places a second phone in the dustbin and listens through an earpiece, guiding Jinwoo with gestures as a camera observes them. A cleaning lady approaches Raehuk's room and fatally stabs him. Hee-soon and Seonk leave upon seeing the police. Jinwoo deduces that the school is a gathering place for powered children. Kwang-yoon studies, while Hee-soon searches the staff room. Mi-hoon overhears the cleaning lady reporting their positions. Mr. Choi questions Jinwoo's identity. A flashback shows Jinwoo aiding an injured soldier during his mission to capture the North Korean agents. Mi-hoon finds Samwook's body hidden by the cleaning lady, who pretends to clean. Han attempts to enter the school but is stopped by the guard. North Korean agents break in. In a flashback, Dushik explains his expertise in landing to Mi-hoon. In the present, Seonk and Hee-soon practice, reaching the center. June pursues them. Hee-soon prepares to run while Seonk goes to the supermarket. June throws Hee-soon, discovering she can't fly. She fights back, but June throws her again. Realizing her healing abilities, Seonk hears Hee-soon's cries and attempts to enter. June drops Hee-soon from the auditorium ceiling. Seonk flies in and saves her, astonished by his own heroic act. Mi-hoon fights the cleaning lady, who throws objects at her. Mi-hoon senses another presence and escapes. Jae-hak questions the cleaning lady about the files and Samwook's death. She reveals her mission to eliminate anyone in her way. Mi-hoon overhears their conversation. Two North Korean agents confront Jinwoo and Mr. Choi. It's revealed they were sent by the general to steal files after witnessing the video of powered children in South Korea. One agent demands the files. The cleaning lady directs Jae-hak to Hee-soon while she pursues Mi-hoon. Mi-hoon throws snow at the camera, causing a blur. She shuts off the power, plunging the school into darkness. Jinwoo points out Dae-hoon, who's standing outside due to his height. Mr. Choi searches his driver's belongings. Kwang-yoon heads home but encounters Charlie. Jae-man worries about Kwang-yoon's absence, but Shin assures him he's studying. Mr. Choi retrieves a stick from his driver's possession and dismisses Dae-hoon. Jinwoo threatens Dae-hoon's tall companion. Jae-hak attacks Hee-soon while Hyunwoo is on a call. Charlie attacks Hyunwoo. Shin, hearing the commotion, sends Jae-man to the school. The cleaning lady tries to kill Mi-hoon, but Mi-hoon shoots her. Jinwoo fights Dae-hoon's companion. Dae-hoon observes from the sidelines. Mr. Choi shields Hee-soon, revealing his knowledge of the situation. Jinwoo knocks out the tall agent and advances towards Dae-hoon. June informs Dae-hoon about Seonk and Hee-soon. The tall agent recovers and attacks Jinwoo. Seonk and Hee-soon fight June, who proves to be a formidable opponent. Dae-hoon mentions Dushik as the reason behind their actions, which Mi-hoon overhears. She calls Seonk, but his phone is outside. She grabs a gun and heads towards Dae-hoon. Jae-hak holds Hee-soon and Mr. Choi at gunpoint. Mi-hoon shoots Jae-hak, who retaliates. Mi-hoon uses a reflection to target him, but he dodges. She fires through the window, hitting Jae-hak's head. Mr. Choi urges Hee-soon to leave. Hee-soon finds Han hiding under a table and tells her to stay quiet. Dae-hoon, believing Jinwoo is dead, encounters Mi-hoon holding a gun. He questions her about his men. She reveals she killed 2 of them. As she inquires about Dushik, the scene flashes back to 1994. Dushik infiltrates the North Korean presidential office, silently eliminating guards. An alarm is triggered, and Dushik fights his way through a barrage of bullets. He confronts Dae-hoon and shoots his finger before aiming at the sleeping Supreme Leader. He leaves without firing. A year later, Dae-hoon stands on a mountaintop, ordering a group of superhumans to jump off a cliff to awaken their powers. He explains the threat posed by South Korea's training program and the urgency of mastering their abilities. He orders his men to shoot at them, forcing some to jump out of fear. Dae-hoon assumes everyone is dead, but June appears, revealing his fear of becoming a monster. Dae-hoon encourages them to become warriors, threatening June with treason charges and his family's safety if he attempts to escape. Another flashback shows Dushik surrendering to save Mi-hoon and Seonk. Hyunwoo offers him the North Korea mission again, which Dushik refuses. Hyunwoo threatens Mi-hoon and Seonk, forcing Dushik to accept. He infiltrates the presidential house again, but this time, Dae-hoon, with Jun's help, captures him. Back in the present, Dae-hoon approaches Mi-hoon, but she shoots him. They exchange fire, and Mi-hoon escapes with a leg injury. Seonk gets stuck in a net. Jun recognizes him, wondering if he's Dushik's son. Seonk attacks, prompting Jun to try punching him. Seonk evades the blow and holds Jun while calling for Hee-soon. Hee-soon awakens and throws a ball at Jun, causing him to fall unconscious. Hyunwoo fights Charlie using his powers. Dae-hoon discovers the deaths of Jae-hak and the cleaning lady. He sends the tall agent to find the files. Mi-hoon calls Jin-woo, who answers. She stresses the need to protect the children. Jin-woo prepares to leave. Dae-hoon calls for someone. A man wearing sunglasses emerges from a car trunk. It's Seonk. Jae-man, using his speed, heads towards the school, pursued by the National Security Agency. Dae-hoon encounters Han and Ki-hoo, who claim they're just students. Dae-hoon leaves them and hides. Charlie attacks Hyunwoo. Mr. Choi intervenes but is overpowered. Jae-man arrives and brutally defeats Charlie, whose powers are no match for him. Jae-man throws Charlie out the window and apologizes to Hyunwoo. Jin-woo spots Jae-seonk in another building. A flashback reveals Jae-seonk's family attempting to leave the country. The army kills everyone except Jae-seonk, who's imprisoned. He develops a fear of light due to prolonged confinement. He converses with a new inmate until one day, silence leads him to believe the inmate is dead. A voice urges him to persevere, reigniting his will to live. Back in the present, Jae-seonk uses his powers to destroy a building. Seonk repeatedly asks Hee-soon if she's okay. She confirms her healing ability. Seonk confesses his feelings for her. Dae-hoon orders Jun to return to the school, informing him about Mi-hoon's actions. Seonk overhears his mother's name and questions Jun. Jun shoots Seonk, but Hee-soon takes the bullet. She tells Seonk to go to the school. Jinwoo fights Jae-hak, but Jae-hak's force repeatedly throws him back. Hyunwoo uses his powers to free Mr. Choi and Jae-man from the rubble. Jae-man assists Jinwoo, punching Jae-seonk. The tall agent approaches Jinwoo. Mi-hoon finds Charlie, who attempts to deceive and attack her. She shoots him. Hee-soon runs towards the school, but Jae-do intercepts her, believing Jun is responsible. Hee-soon ignores him and continues running, with Jae-do following. The tall agent attacks Jinwoo, but Jae-man intervenes. Jae-seonk recognizes Jae-man from their prison encounter, recalling their vow to survive together. The tall agent urges Jae-seonk to return to the van. During his imprisonment, Jae-seonk tried to attack Jae-man but failed due to a broken arm. He jumps off the building, causing an earthquake that collapses the structure. Jinwoo saves Jae-man, telling him to go to Hyunwoo before leaving. Jun shoots Jinwoo in the eye and aims at him again, but Mi-hoon intervenes. As Mi-hoon runs out of bullets, Jun prepares to shoot her, but Seonk attacks. Mi-hoon tries to stop him, but Jun attempts to crash the bus into them. Jae-do changes direction, allowing Seonk to ram Jun. Seonk approaches Dae-hoon on the rooftop, but Jun blocks his path. Mi-hoon confronts Dae-hoon, ordering Seonk to leave. The tall agent, grieving over Jae-seonk's death, bumps into Hee-soon, who comforts him. Seonk informs Mi-hoon about his plan and floats higher. Jun pursues him, but Jae-do absorbs power from the bus battery and attacks Jun, sending him crashing near Dae-hoon. Jinwoo arrives. Dae-hoon shoots Jinwoo and orders Jun to escape. Seonk confronts Dae-hoon. Dae-hoon recalls his chief's orders to eliminate anyone interfering, but he hesitates upon seeing Seonk's young age. Mi-hoon attacks Dae-hoon. Jinwoo joins the fight. Dae-hoon attempts suicide by jumping off the roof, but Mi-hoon and Jinwoo catch him, demanding information about Dushik. He refuses to answer, breaks free, and falls to his death. The police arrive at the school. The guard verifies his identity. Mi-hoon is overjoyed to see Seonk, who lifts her onto his back and flies away. Jinwoo smiles at Hee-soon. On graduation day, Everyone gathers with their families except Seonk. Someone delivers files to Jinwoo, acknowledging his ability to keep them safe. Hyunwoo joins the National Security Agency after securing his father's release. Hyunwoo encounters a girl whose identity is not revealed, who scolds him for his incompetence. Jinwoo steps outside to receive a delivery. Inside, it's revealed he killed Raehuk, the information leak. Jun reports to his chief, who demands details. Jun kills the chief, recalling his actions to protect his family. A flashback shows Jun offering Dushik a gun, revealing that his family is being used as leverage. Dushik kills Hyunwoo with the same gun. Jinwoo works happily at his shop with the tall agent. News breaks of a building fire, and a figure in a yellow coat saves everyone. Seonk becomes a hero, embracing his role in helping others. He soon recognizes him. Dushik reunites with his family. Sometime later, Frank stands before a bar where his mother used to sing. Mark crosses out Frank's name and calls someone, asking for Alicia. 6 children are shown with the first letter of their names on their bellies, ending with Frank. Alicia, the E child, is summoned.